Hello everybody! So this is my live video for our creative challenge this week. If you missed out, that is the no stamping challenge. So I'm going to make a card with no stamping. So I've picked out a few different products that I wanted to use. As you can see, I brought out the Well-Written Thinlits, and these are nice because they're a bunch of dies that have words. So rather than stamping my sentiment, I'm going to be die cutting my sentiment. I'm going to take this stuff away. I'll bring it back again at the very end. And today's video is probably going to be a little bit longer, just because I wanted to show you a few things that I sometimes take for granted. So I'm going to be showing you things like how I'm cutting my cardstock. I had a video about card bases, so I've actually have a pre-done card base. I'm going to be doing some die cutting, some embossing, but I'm going to show it to you all. So we'll start with the Designer Series paper here. So I've got my Stampin' Trimmer in here. I've marked my score blades so that I don't get them mixed up. And then just the other one's my cutting blade. I do change out my cutting blade quite often. It's a good idea to change it out when your cuts start getting a little raggedy. So I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna cut my Designer Series paper at 1.5 inches wide by 5 1/4. And then this extra can just go off to the side. So I just wanted this strip, and the reason why I wanted to do it 5 1/4 was so that it fits onto my 4 by 5 1/4 layer, which is going to be my Whisper White. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm actually going to emboss it. So I've got the Country Florals embossing folder here, and this is one of the thicker dynamic embossing folders. So normally they just both have this one kind of thin side. They've got on both sides, but the dynamic ones have a thicker one. So with this, you only need one cutting plate is the important thing to remember. And this one is a Celebration item, so you can get it for free just today when you place an order. It's the last day of Celebration. But you will be able to actually order this and pay for it down the road when the new catalog comes out, we've been told. So I'm going to bring in my Big Shot. And then I've got my platform, and this is the new platform. If you have one with the old flip style, you may need to figure out your sandwich a bit better or a bit differently. I'm going to put my embossing folder there and then my plate on top. And you can see my plate is totally trashed. That's okay. That's what happens when you die cut with it, and that's totally okay. So we're going to crank this through. And I always like to go there and back again because I'm part Hobbit. And then we've got that. So we've got that embossed. I'm not going to quite get rid of my Big Shot yet because that's just one layer that I wanted to do through there. I also wanted to do my Welcome. So this I'm actually going to do with my precision plate, but before I do that, I want to get some of the multi-purpose adhesive on the back of my cardstock. It's just going to make dealing with it a lot easier. So let's cut this down to size. And these are just scraps that I had lying around, so I have no idea what size they are, but basically they just fit onto my die. All right, and then we're going to peel off one side of the backing here. I don't get it all over my fingers. And then we're gonna stick it onto whichever I want the back side of my cardstock to be. All right, there we go. Now we're gonna be able to have this Welcome be a sticker. And now I'm gonna do this a little bit wonky. So my sandwich is gonna be different than what people will tell you, but I find this works really well for these intricate dies if you flip them upside down. And I am going to use my precision base plate, but I'm going to use it on top. So I've got my base, my acrylic Oh, and I just did what I didn't want to do, and then upside down. And then because we're not lining this up with anything, as long as it's covered, the whole die is covered, it's gonna cut out what I want. And then we're gonna put the precision base plate upside down over top and then crank this through. And this is probably gonna take some muscle here. Oh, nope. What did I'm missing I'm missing the thin adapter from the platform. I just have to go run and grab it. Typical, I wanted to set up in the living room because it's so nice here and I have a view here that I forgot. So this is what I forgot, the thin die adapter. It goes anywhere in your sandwich. I like putting it underneath. And you'll probably hear the difference, but it makes a huge difference in how tight your sandwich is. Okay. Oh, and that little doggy nose checking it out here now too. All right, so that was much tighter to get it through. It actually cut. All right, so there we go. So we've got that cut out. I'm done with the big shot for now. I think I'm done with the big shot totally. And we can actually take this out. Now you want to be careful if you're poking at it, because you don't want to poke too much and actually poke through the cardstock or leave marks on the cardstock. So I just have to peel it out like that. Now these little pieces that are going to be trash anyways, I don't care about poking those too hard. But there we go. So there's my little welcome sticker. And then I wanted to do something that I think I saw it on Instagram, but I really liked this look. So we're going to peel this off and we're going to stick it onto a piece of vellum. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to fussy cut around that word a little border. So I'm just going to go around, and it doesn't have to be super precise because all I'm doing is kind of giving it a bubble around it. That's going to kind of be like a shadow behind the word welcome. I've actually never done this before. I saw it on somebody's Instagram the other day and I was like, oh my god, that is amazing. I just thought it was the neatest idea. So, I know fussy cutting is probably your favorite thing in the world. I'm not crazy about it, but I don't mind it. And this isn't a very intricate, it's mostly just, you know, getting a few wobbles into that. And there we go. I'm gonna just trim it a little closer in some spots. Oh, the little doggy wants outside. Can you hear her crying? Okay, so we've got this. We've got, oh, we don't need that anymore. We've got this. Now, I know I'm cheating because this isn't actually current anymore because it's sold out, but I just love this ribbon and I wanted to use it up. So I'm going to use some of it on here because I like it. So just a bit of snail to hold it on the back, and then Okay, okay, let the little doggy out. There you go. Go on. Otherwise, we're gonna listen to her squeaking for however much longer I'm on here. All right, I'm kind of doing this very discombobulated. This is my card base and that Daffodil Delight again, and I wanted to show you again one of my tricks for getting this layer on straight. So I'm using tear and tape, and I've got it just on all four sides of the layer that I want to put down. And this is how to get those layers precise, especially if you have trouble lining things up because of either fine motor challenges or vision, anything like that. So you peel up half of the tear and tape and leave that little dog leg out. And if you have trouble picking off that paper, you can use a pair of scissors or take your pick tool, something like that. A piercing tool works too, just to peel just the paper up. I actually have nails right now, which is actually quite rare for me, so I'm using those. Alrighty, and then what you do is you kind of float this onto where you want it on your card base. And you can kind of back up, step away, line it up a bit differently. Mine right now is pretty crooked, so I'm gonna straighten it out a bit. And then when you're happy with where it is, you just tack those corners down and then pull these out. And then it'll stick exactly where you put it and it'll be nice and straight. Alrighty, I have dimensionals here somewhere. I'm gonna put this layer on with dimensionals. And I like putting them kind of on my ribbon because it helps the ribbon stay where it's supposed to stay. And this is the Garden Impressions Designer Series paper, and I have not used it as much as I should have. I did some swaps for Orlando, but it's gorgeous. Hi, Gwen. Nice to see you. And then we're gonna pop that on there. Alrighty. And then I wanted to do just a quick knot with this. Put this down here. Alrighty. There we go. Okie dokie. So now I've got my card and I've got my welcome. Now I have no idea where I'm actually going to put this welcome. I thought I might put it here because with the vellum I can still see it, and you can see how that vellum lets the word show through. So I think it's too long to put down here. I could do this card like this too. Ooh, actually, I really like that. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it as a horizontal card. Change my plan mid. There, no, I like it down here. Okay, and then this. Oh, and Sue is here too. Hi, Sue. So one of the things with vellum is that anywhere that you have adhesive behind it, it's going to show. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of my liquid adhesive where the cardstock is, so it's covering it up. And then all I'm going to do is put a few little all right, and then this is gonna go down here. And smush that on there. There we go. All right, and then I'm gonna throw some sequins on here because I like sequins. And I think they tie that yellow in really nicely. From the Designer Series paper. one more. I always like to do odd numbers for sequins and such. There we go. So that is my no stamping card. I do have a Whisper White layer to go on the inside so that it's easier to write on it. So I'm going to pop that in here. Oh, you know what? I'm going to show you how I usually decorate the inside of my cards too. So I always do something on the, or I should say, I shouldn't say always. I usually do something on the inside of my card too. When I've got designer series paper like this, there's often a little bit left over that makes a really handy little extra bit, because what I'll do is I'll take a strip and adhere this strip on the inside of my card. Sometimes I'll leave a little line like that. Sometimes I'll put it right to the bottom or the top or the side or wherever. I think I'm going to leave that little bit of a line. So then the inside is decorated too. There we are. I hope you liked that. So there is my card. I'm going to bring back my QR code. So if you have your phone out, you can actually scan this and be taken straight to my store. If you're going to place an order, remember today's the last day of celebration. So if you want to get this embossing folder for free or any of the stamps or anything like that, today is your last chance. You place a $60 order, you get to pick one of these items for free. Like I said, the embossing folder, it's going to be back. Sue, the welcome is from the well wishes or well written Thinlits. So it goes with a stamp set as well. This is just the Thinlits though, and there's, I want to say, about 8 different words. There's welcome, there's congratulations, happy birthday, all that kind of stuff. It's in the occasions catalog. Anyways, if you're going to place an order, you can scan this, go to my shop, or just go to thecraftymedic.com, and there's a little shop now button, and then you can use this host code. So if you're placing an order for under $200 worth of product, use this host code, so F29MB3N6, and we'll divvy up all the goodies from that workshop order amongst the people who ordered. If you're ordering more than $200 worth, you'll actually get all of the host rewards for yourself. So you'll still get some goodies from me, but you'll get to keep your host rewards for yourself. I hope you enjoyed this card. It wasn't quite as long a video as I thought it was going to be, but I'm glad that those of you that watched, and everybody else, I guess you're catching this live on the replay on my blog or on YouTube. All right, have fun, happy stamping, enjoy the sunshine.